Now for global business updates, Rotus Oddiri joins us. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Dr. Abasi. Good morning, Vimbai, Rufai, all our viewers out there.
Rotus, leave boy.
We need it, so we need it bad.
3 days to leave.
Just, no, 2 more. Today's Wednesday now, yeah. Okay. Freedom, temporarily. Starting in Asia, markets are rallying. I mean, this was based on what we saw with U.S. Inflation coming in pretty moderate. Hong Kong particularly, in fact, at one point the Nikkei, in fact, let me back up. The Nikkei hit another high. They hit a high, it was 42,774 points yesterday. As you can see there, they're now at 43,000. In fact, at one point the Nikkei was leading, but then the Hang Seng overtook. Why? Because of technology stocks. In particular, one notable one was Tencent Music Entertainment Group. Their shares popped, I think it was like, what? At one point it was 13%, in a rally. If you look at the Chinese markets, I should have added Asia Pacific markets because the TAIEX and the Kospi are also close to all-time highs as well. But the Chinex 9-month high, CSI 300 10-month high, Shenzhen 3-year, Shanghai Composite 4-year high. I mean, the markets are really rallying in Asia. Tencent Music Entertainment Group released their earnings. What was the revenue now? 18%. Yeah, 18% climb for the revenue. We converted from yuan to dollars, so 1.1 billion there, driven by their online music sales. Double-digit growth there, 26%. Net profit coming in at 37% higher on a year-on-year basis. So their shares are part of the reason why you saw the Hang Seng really taking off along with it. And I think we get JD.com's earnings later on today. Their executive chairman was talking about how they've diversified their portfolio of music offerings, basically saying while our music subscription business remained a core growth driver, our expanding suite of music-related services, including advertising, concerts, artist merchandise. For those here on our own continent that are doing this stuff, you always see that it's the ancillary revenues that always add up to push the net revenues or total top-line revenues for these companies. They just diversified into a whole lot. Evergrande, they've been 18 months now. Yeah, it's been tough. We covered this quite a bit, a lot. So the creditors have taken over for the past 18 months now. They've been going over the claims against the company's assets and so on. So they're going to be delisted from the Hong Kong market. It's still a stain on China's property sector, on Chinese. Now, at one point in 2017, their market cap was over 50 billion. Now, based on the claims that have been received so far over the past 18 months, they're looking at debt of about $45 billion for the company. I remember the receivables or liabilities at one point when they defaulted in 2021 on a bond, it was about 300 billion or so. But this is based on claims that have been received so far. Meanwhile, HSBC says that about 70% of Hong Kong's property market is high risk. Financial Times was reporting on that. So the property sector is still a major drag on in that area, and also for pretty much for China as well. From there, I think we're going to go to the latest figures from the U.S. We still are not seeing the tariff impact, and I think it's mainly because businesses continue to eat it. So headline inflation came in at 2.7, estimates were 2.8, so it came under that. Month on month was 0.2, what the estimates were expecting, but we did see a rise in core, which is where you take out volatile food and energy. So 3.1%, estimates were 3, month on month came in. And then if you disaggregate further and look at where we saw, I was expecting apparel and so on to climb, but apparel, we didn't see much of a jump there, although household furnishing 0.7, appliances came down. I said apparel, appliances, I meant. Tomatoes though, that jumped 3.3, fuel came down. That's part of the reason why I think a lot of this wasn't, the headline was particularly, came in under estimates. And then airline fares, we saw a jump of 4%. Analysts are still saying that, look, it is likely that it's going to be maybe fourth quarter or first quarter of 2021 because, there's been so much stop-starts with these tariffs. Trump he was mocking Goldman Sachs. He said Goldman Sachs CEO should go back to DJing, that he got the inflation numbers wrong. But everyone needs...
Well, he's a good DJ anyway.
Yeah, he's a good DJ. But David Solomon...
His mixes, DJ
Soul. DJ Soul.
Mixes on
radio. Look, there's been just stop-start with the tariffs, and that's the reason why there hasn't been the full pass-through effect yet, and it looks like businesses still have the inventory there. Adefemi pointed this out, this front page of from the Punch newspaper. As I've said several times to you guys, for energy, you need money. And, the Africa Energy Bank has been, with the Afri-Exim Bank behind this, put together in order to fund energy projects on the continent. Nigeria, a number of other countries have made their respective contributions towards it, but I mean, this is a $5 billion, as far as initial funds considered to prop up this bank, but there's still a lot of paid-in capital that is required. So there's a bit of an issue with the launch of the Africa Energy Bank between the APPO, the Africa Petroleum Producers Organization, and the Afri-Exim Bank. So essentially, I think at the core of what's happening here is that the Afri-Exim Bank is saying, hey, APPO, you need to put up your equity subscription portion of this into this bank before we can set up, as according to the charter, because I understand they wrote a letter to them, and in the letter they noted out the charter where they say, hey, listen, we're going to set up, a launch date, appoint executives, apportion, shares based on what has been contributed. But the APPO is saying, well, no, you put the launch date on the ground, appoint the necessary executives, and then we'll put in this equity subscription funds into the fund. But the Africans are saying, listen, no, that's not what the charter says. So it's a bit of a chicken and egg situation here. I think, I know there's supposed to be a meeting set up for later on in September. That's where things are right now. But this is it's a big project that is supposed to fund a lot of energy on the continent, because I think as estimated 600 million Africans don't have electricity. So very much needed there. We'll see if things can be worked out in the future. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I know this is Google search trends. This is, I'm fascinated by this. Ibom Air and Comfort are still dominating. So that's your blue and red lines there. Yeah.
Thank you, Rotus. Not much time. The only thing is that the markets are in the green because of the CPI that came in yesterday. And the expectation by traders is that tariffs have not caused much problems. And in any case, they're looking forward to benchmark rate cuts in September, October, and December. Meanwhile, Trump says he's going to charge Jerome Powell to cut
for the renovation.
for headquarters renovations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.